What's up, y'all? We're back. Verse
up?
4. We got Mr. Million in a Pandemic, Chris. It's young HBK.
What's up?
And what y'all been waiting on, we got Dame Dollar, Damien. He's in the house. Damien, you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
What's good? My name is Damien. Follow me at Dame Comedy on all social media. I'm a comedian, rapper, clothing line. I have my own podcast called You Should Swipe Left. I do it all.
Got it all. Walking entrepreneur.
Yeah, I'm always grinding.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this is we really don't know what to expect. We're just gonna
roll with it.
Yeah, this is a freestyle podcast here. So what's good, y'all? What's been going on? Anything new?
Another week of the apocalypse, man.
Yeah.
Surviving.
Word.
Just trying to make it. You know, like Pop said on Friday, you live to fight another day.
That was a good impression. For real. That was dope. R.I.P.
No doubt. R.I.P. for real, man.
R.I.P.
He's a comedy legend.
He is, for sure.
For real. Yeah.
And speaking of R.I.P., we in the hip hop community, we just lost one of Fat Boys.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Hip hop's lost a lot of people in the last year. It's been bad.
Yeah, it's been culture, period, right?
Yeah,
It's just lost a lot of people, man. It's been crazy.
Yeah, but hopefully we're on the better half of it.
Yeah, I'm hoping we put it behind us soon and move on to better days. What we got happening in music right now?
Well, Damien, you want to start us off? You got some new material.
Oh yeah, I got new songs. I got the song Goldilocks featuring Jaron Benton. That one's going hard.
We'll post a link to that.
Yeah,
just whenever, man. We can throw that up.
Yeah, bro, that song's going hard. I'm always in the studio. I got a new song out, new solo song called Wi-Fi out. It's just funny.
And tell everybody about your live comedy shows when they can catch you.
I'm doing 20 minutes in Jonesboro at Furnace 41 on April 5th. The date got moved again because of COVID. So April 5th, though, he said that's the last change. I'll be there. I'll be doing 20 minutes. I was doing shows opening up for Nima Williams before the pandemic, and we did one sold-out show, and then everything happened.
That's what's up. How is that, man? Of course, we've been to see you, though, but it's been a while since when you started.
Yeah, y'all went to my very first show.
That's got to be like, that's just got to be tough to initially.
Oh, it is.
Initially get, and I don't know if it's kind of like, man, back in the day when I used to run track, man, and I don't know if it's like everybody, but every time I'm at the starting line, it's like this until that gun goes off. It's just so I don't know if it's like that every time until you kind of.
If you don't get that first laugh within the first minute, bro, that
it's hard.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, the crazy thing is too, man. It's like with comedy, that's always been the release. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I always feel like when it's comedy, man, kind of anything goes. I mean, that's you know what I'm saying. It's like that's why when I go to a comedy show, I'm not sitting up front, man. I'm not trying to get roasted.
Yeah,
I don't want no front row tickets. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, though, man.
So for the cheap people, is there a cover charge?
To
see you?
I don't think so. I don't know. He hasn't sent me a ticket link or anything. I don't think so.
Because I'm gonna be there either way.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll talk to him and make sure. But yeah,
once you know, we'll update that.
Yeah,
let everybody know for sure.
But yeah, bro, it'll be a fun show. I've never done 20 minutes. I usually do 10.
Yeah.
So this will be.
I mean, you got to start somewhere.
Well,
I mean, it's to get up to 20 is that's salute.
Yeah.
To you because I mean, you went from getting kicked off a stage to getting 20 minutes. That's
like a wrestling match. It's the longest.
Oh yeah.
It's the longest few minutes of your life, man. It's like I couldn't even imagine, man. Couldn't even imagine, man. But that's what's up.
On top of that, you're going to at least have some people there that can help you through, if it starts to lag.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So exactly.
So you ain't got to worry about that.
I'll tell you.
Well, I got home run jokes now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Because I have some jokes that have been hitting everywhere.
You got some stuff teed up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. We let's hit some relationship stuff off. Let's just we can hop into it, and we'll wrap back around and talk about sports and stuff and just culture. But
first things first. Well, we know you're married.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. But Damien, what's you got a relationship podcast? Tell us a little bit more for those that don't know what your podcast is.
So pretty much, it's called "You Should Have Swiped Left." I do with my boy Jamal, and what it's about. So we have girls on, and they just tell us about bad online dates they've been on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you hear some crazy stuff. Like I had one girl on who talked about how she used to make fake profiles and fuck with guys.
Oh man, that's crazy. Like some catfish type.
And the fucked up part was that girl ghosted me like 6 years ago.
Oh man, that's crazy.
She ghosted me like 6 years ago, so I just hit her up, asked because I just wanted people on the podcast, and then she came through and did the podcast, and she told me, she's like, yeah, I just used to ghost people and just fuck with guys back then.
So did she ghost you from a fake profile?
No, I actually met her in person. Oh, believe it or not, yeah. But no, last girls we had on, one girl was getting paid to sext a guy because the guy just wanted to sext because he looked nothing like his pictures because he was a catfish.
So he just like,
he just wanted to sex with this girl.
That's crazy.
And she said that was paying her rent.
Man,
yeah, that's crazy, man. That is nuts,
man. If I'm gonna tell you, if I ever paid for pussy, like pimp would turn over in his grave.
Right.
Like, yeah. I just I don't get it.
Yeah, man. The world, man, it's a different place now.
It's different. Yeah, it is. The game's changed, man.
It is, man.
So that's I think your podcast is genius. In my opinion, I love it. It's different. It's it just seems like that you have like an idea always about the endeavors you go down. I want to get on there with y'all.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
And really dive in, especially when you get one of those feminists in here.
Yeah.
I got some things I want to say. but so Chris, let's talk. Since you're married, I'm sure a lot of us got some questions.
Yeah, what's up?
What you're in year 3?
Coming up on 3, yeah. Coming
okay.
up on be 3 in June.
So for some of us that either want to get married or heading that way or whatever, what's it like in the first couple of years? Like what is that?
Man, it's you keep on learning, right? But I think one thing, man, for me, and I may be built different than some, but when I got married, I wasn't looking for. I mean, a lot of people are like looking for something. I'm really not. Like my expectations are, me and my wife, we're still got our own individuality, and whatnot like that. But it's more so building something together. But I just think a lot of people like they go into it with this thing like there's going to be some big change. Mm-hmm. It's really not. We just keep on building on. But you definitely learn, and as life comes at you, you know what I'm saying, like with a child now, and then having another one, just trying to balance. It's like you're continually balancing, man.
So what's the difference for you between being married and dating? Like what's I mean, obviously
responsibility.
Okay.
You just feel like the responsibility is like this is real. Like, I took a vow and the joint's for real. So, I mean, and I've always, even in relationships, I've approached it that way, but it's just like, yo, this is what it is. But I think also, man, because I think about this when all this divorce and stuff, I think the biggest problem I see, man, people have some types of expectations that just aren't.
Not feasible.
Yeah, they're just not feasible. And I'm just naturally a content person. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why for me, like I say it all the time, like our best friends, because people talk about divorce and it's like, would I ever like, me and my brother, man, we disagreed our whole lives, man. Almost like fists, but it's never like, yo, I'm divorcing you, man. I'm not talking to you no more. It's like, this is what it is. Yeah. We gonna make it work. But there's like certain things you don't break. You know what I'm saying? There's certain lines you don't cross. And I'm like, as long as you keep those lines, then it's straight, man. But yeah, I enjoy it though. I got a good one too though.
You do.
But she's enhanced my life too. Like there's certain things I do good, certain things she does good, and it works. I've definitely become a better person, even just as far as like more efficient and stuff like that. But yeah, looking back though, my wife has made me be like the people that I was like, man, I want to marry. And I can't even say that I ever came to before now to this thing where I'm like, yeah, I want to marry this person for sure. But I can tell you, man, I always say this. My wife's got me like, man, God, thank you didn't give me what I thought I wanted. Yeah. God, because it just wouldn't work. it wouldn't work. I got like full support. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I got these wild dreams and goals that if you would tell the average person, they'd be like, "Is this dude a fool?" But my wife's like, "I don't understand it, but okay." And we just keep on, just making it happen. So
that's a good segue.
yeah.
How do y'all go about finding somebody that complements or kind of is cohesive to your life? What steps do you do? Because I've got my own kind of thought process and all that, but it's hard to find somebody that truly is a puzzle piece fit.
Yeah, it is, man.
Sure.
What's funny is I think I used to do it different. My wife is on. This is the only time I did it kind of like where it was. This is the first time I sat back and looked at what somebody was trying to do for themselves. It had nothing to do with me. Like I'm just looking in like, what do you want in life and what are you trying to do for yourself? Because here's the deal. Anybody can fake. Anybody can fake to you who they are, but people are not faking to themselves who they are. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like looking in like to see what you're doing. It's almost like if you're looking in through somebody's window to see how they acting. They're going to act different when you're in the house, right? And that's where, like with my wife, I just saw the respect she had for herself. And as I got older, I just started to look for that because I was like, if I'm going to get married, I just can't, there's no room for error. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of something I looked at. I didn't used to. It was just like, I definitely removed the whole, that whole, what do they call it? Getting all googly eyed and all that. Mm-hmm. I removed all that. It's just like, look, I got to get to know who you are. This is who I am. If you don't like it, let's be honest. And that's the first time I was like, if you don't truly like who I am, I'm not faking the funk. Then we just won't work. And I was okay with that. And that's why, I am who I am. She is who she is and stuff, man. But I hadn't done that in the past.
But how often are people being honest? I mean,
I don't think they are.
The internet's full of lies. So if you meet online, which a lot of people do now.
We did, right?
Yeah.
But we were straight up, though. We were just straight up about who we were, man.
I mean, Damien's got a whole podcast on meeting people online. Like, it's
right,
it's
like, for real, man.
I bet you've talked to some people that are wild. Like,
oh yeah,
100%. I mean, you gave some, obviously some of the things that's happening.
So let me ask y'all a question for real, because the thing is, and I always acknowledge this: marriage isn't for everybody. Mm-hmm. See, it was always for me. Like, so in my mind, I thought I was ready. I could have told you, at like 20, I could get married. That'd be cool. Now, looking back, nah, I wouldn't. I got my feelings hurt too easy. I'd been mad all the time. I had to grow out of, I had to get to a point where it's like, hey, when my significant other is upset, it has nothing to do with me. They're just upset. It has not, I used to take it personal. Once I got to the age, it was like, oh, they just upset. Okay, it has nothing to do with me. But what do y'all like? What's y'all's thoughts on marriage and because I'm married, the game of trying to, I don't like to say game, but just trying to meet that person or trying to, or what I'm saying, where y'all at right now?
I want to get married.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get married at 30 or so.
Yeah.
So, for you, do you want somebody that you meet doing something that you want to say?
No, she doesn't have to do anything that I'm doing, but she has to support everything that I do, and I'll support her too. But I do everything. The odds of being famous are very, 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 very fucking slim. But at the same time, though, it's stuff that I love to do. So So she has to support me for following this big dream that I have.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah,
that's how I am.
But you may meet her doing your dream. That's the thing.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool if I met another comedian girl. But that's not. But
what about a rapper girl?
Rapper girl would be dope too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So quick question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Sub note. What female rapper, is the sexiest to y'all?
I don't even know too
rapper,
many.
I don't.
And okay, this can span to back in the day, but I'm more of right now. I ain't picking Lil' Kim no more.
And this is off the top because I don't. It's very tough. I almost want to say Cash Doll, but I don't.
That's mine.
Yeah, I want to say Cash Doll probably.
I don't know too many female rappers, y'all.
It's tough. I mean, you're really
there's a lot, but they all look alike for the most part.
I figured you'd be like Young and May or something like that.
Oh my god!
I'm just like, I listen to I said that because I listen to Young M.A. Is she from New York or Baltimore?
New York.
See, I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, she's
she's co-signed by Eminem.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she is.
Really?
She's nice, but she's a dyke.
She is nice.
So a lot of guys can't necessarily like her except for Kodak. Remember, Kodak was like
he said some stuff.
He was trying to slide in her DMs.
He's wild. Yeah, he said some stuff. I'm like, Kodak, man, you wild, man.
Kodak's gonna have his own Netflix documentary one day, and it's gonna blow our minds.
Let me. I'm gonna ask you this one question real quick because I don't want to forget, and then I'm gonna wrap around and just ask you kind of like your what you think on marriage. But did you all see what Rihanna posted?
The naked.
No, Martin Luther King. Ooh, this is a good one. So Rihanna posted a picture of Martin Luther King, and he had a grill, a gold grill, and it's a pretty iconic picture, I think. But he had a gold grill and like an earring, and people had mixed feelings. So y'all have to look at it. But and she's got like 100 million people, I think, on Twitter or whatever.
Is it on her IG?
I think Twitter. But this morning, I was listening to it or whatever in the car real early as I was traveling, and the question was she out of line? And I gotta say, yeah, man. And the reason I say that, when I heard it presented, was like, well, if you're saying that, then there's like a problem with like a grill or whatever. But I'm like, for me, it's like, and when you see the picture, I'll let you see what you think. But the reason I think it's out of line is this. Now, what people have to understand is Rihanna's not from America. So, she don't, and that's not to say she don't understand it, but the struggle of America and our history, if you're not from here, she's from Barbados, right?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So, and I don't like to go overboard on it, but if you're not from America and you realize the struggle, and you take a figure like him, who's held very dearly to people, and you take a figure like that and almost turn him into a thug, it's like, what if you took a picture? The thing is this: she's a woman, right? Mm-hmm. So for those who are like, yeah, it's not a big deal, I just ask this: okay, are you cool if I take Harriet Tubman and put her in a dress like something Cardi B would wear and talk about WAP with someone like Harriet Tubman who was freeing slaves? You would be upset. As a woman, you'd be like, how dare you?
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, it's just not acceptable. And the reason why is this: because Martin Luther King wasn't, and I don't like to say just because you have gold teeth you're a thug. No, but don't personify.
Within the culture, we understand what it is.
My thing is, don't personify him as something he wasn't. Yeah. This is like you want to kind of play games, whatever. It's one thing, but this is like a proud figure. And my question is would we take our presidents, right, of old? Well, like, would we do it to Bill Clinton? Would we do it to Trump? Well, it doesn't even matter about the political party. Would we make them look like a thug?
They have those same pictures with Trump and Obama. Like, they gave Obama like one of those fades, you know what I'm saying, and the lines.
Yeah, and I think for her, it's just the fact that
it's probably the same thing.
I think for her, what kind of stood out was like touchy is because she's not from America. So she doesn't.
But I don't think that she meant disrespect.
No, I don't think she is either. But it's just one of those things where it's like some stuff we're doing nowadays. I feel like there's nothing to gain from it. You know what I'm saying? So
more than one way, though.
Yeah, man, it just feels like there's nothing to gain from some of the decision we make, and I don't like to read too much into that. But also, I do have expectations from people who got 100 million followers. And look, especially if you're black, I have to. Because of the struggle, it's like there's just a certain way. And the reason I say that is this. The way that she portrayed him in today's society, it won't get you a job. Mm-hmm. So why are we portraying one of our most revolutionary like that? Like, don't do that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's because once you get to have so much money,
you just don't care.
You
don't care that 100 million people are watching.
Yeah, you don't. You just
every move.
Yeah, you're privy to do whatever you want.
She's not putting music out right now. She's only doing this Fenty,
Fenty Savage or X or whatever.
She's doing all that, and that's kind of her way of being.
Yeah. And I like Rihanna. I mean, I like Rihanna a lot.
Guess what though? She puts an album out tomorrow. None of that matters.
Yeah, you're right. You're
That's
right.
true.
People have like their mind is like Dory from Finding Nemo. Like they forget in 3 seconds.
Well, I don't think the streets care anyway. So I mean, the truth is
You're right.
the common person doesn't care anyway. And what I realized too, man, and this having time to sit, I've been working, but to sit back this year and kind of view the world and really like dig into like the money and how it works, man. I believe out of every 100 people, only 2 really know what the heck is going on. Like how money works, how the world runs. I think 2 out of every 100 might know. Because let's think about it. They don't talk about it in school. Nobody talking. How do you go all the way through school and nobody teaches you how to balance a checkbook? It just doesn't make sense, man.
But we gotta do that math where there's numbers and letters together because that's important. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like when I'm counting my money, I'm going to need to know there's an A in here somewhere. I know, or an X or something.
Integers and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like linear equations. And how about you just whip out a check and show somebody how to keep up with their check?
Taxes.
Or taxes or something like that. It's just
or investments. Like
it's weird, man.
Fuck math.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, man.
So what was your the circling back about the marriage?
Yes.
What is that?
So anyway, sorry to go off on that tangent, but yeah, man. As far as like, what about you? Like, what, especially being in Atlanta, right? And like, do you want to get married? And like, what is the deal on the dating scene? Like, is the quality out there? And we are in Atlanta, man. It's there, but for me, what I realized is, and I tell my wife this, what women were looking for, because I mean, I've even known you since before I met my wife, so I just naturally assumed, and I still believe it, I'm just not what they were looking for. Now, I met my wife, but for me, most women wanted something, put it this way, I could be worth $20 and have a suit on and have a car that you own, and they would rather have that than me be worth $1 million and wear regular Wranglers, right? Mm-hmm. And have a job that doesn't look flashy. So you if you're a broke lawyer and you look slick, they'd rather have that than you really be wealthy and have $1 million in the bank but look like you're a blue collar guy. So I'm from the country, man. I'm a blue collar dude, and I'm fine with that. It don't make me. I'm not fronting for nobody. So I just felt like once I got to the city, like what they're looking for, I'm just not that, and I wasn't going to change. And it just so happened like I found the right person. But so for you, like, do you see any of those, like, any of that stuff out there where it just looks like they're looking for something that's just like, not real or whatever?
Well, I'll first start by saying, collectively, and as society is concerned, we like the appearance of either having fun or,
like
Dan, rich.
Was it Dan Brazilian, right?
Being rich or having fun instead of actually being rich and actually having fun.
Right.
Everybody's always got their phones out snapping like they're a tourist. It's just, I can't stand that because I'm a little bit too on the real side for that.
Yeah.
So I'll say all that to say this. Dating is hard because of that, what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
It's the girls that I want, I can get, but I'm going to have to be something that I'm not to get that.
Yeah, and it's not worth it.
And there's, pardon my Portuguese, but there's no pussy good enough for me to act different than what I am.
Yeah.
So for me, I struggle because I've got standards that I'm not dipping below. Like, for example, no offense to anybody listening, I don't date women with children. I don't. I mean, I've tried. I've messed around, whatever.
Yeah, right.
But I just can't do it. I want my first to be your first. Mm-hmm. So that being said, that cuts out like 90% of the women out here.
Yeah,
it seems like
it's true.
Like you go to the bathroom for 5 minutes and they get pregnant. It's like there's so many women out here that just have kids, and that's cool. Have kids. That's why we're here. Be fruitful, multiply. Right. However, I personally want a certain type of woman. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to find somebody that not crazy.
Yeah.
Has a job, because kind of what we were talking about off camera, women out here want to be paid. They want that sugar baby life. They want that being taken care of. You can get that from me. but there's going to be a ring on both of our fingers for me to take care of you.
Right. Yeah.
It's like people don't understand the protocol.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but to sum it all up, it's tough out here because there's so many options.
Yeah.
Kind of like your podcast. Should have swiped left. Tinder is a good example.
Right.
I could get on Tinder right now and have 5 conversations going within the next 5 minutes.
Right.
I'm in a room with 2 dudes and I can talk to 5 girls at one time or more.
It's crazy how that works.
I mean,
it is.
All you got to do is mess up one time with a girl, like say something she doesn't like, and
Yep. You're right.
she's on. I mean, she can be on to the next real quick.
Yeah.
Same thing for any guy. So it makes it hard. So you got to find somebody, honestly, that's sick of the shit, just like you are.
Yeah.
And ready to make that next step. Be like, look, that's why being honest is going to get you further than anything. It's like, look, this is what I'm about. You show me any bullshit in between, I'm out.
Well, that's also something I'll tell you real quick with my wife. Straight up. Here's who I am. Any question you got to ask me, you can ask me. Because I was at that point where if you can't accept that, and if I can't accept it, then it's just starting to be. It's fine. Here's what I owe. Here's my credit score. Here's the whole 9. Here's how much I owe on everything. Can you accept that? And if you can, then we move forward.
Hey, and at that point, what is she going to come up with if you tell her everything? It's kind of like Eminem and 8 Mile.
You're right.
You take all the ammunition out. What do they got?
Yeah, I'm laying it out for you. Yep, I'm laying it out for you.
So Damon, you're younger than us by a little bit. Do you see it harder to date younger women?
Oh yeah,
than it is a little bit older.
100%. The girl I'm dating now, she's my age. My ex, and the past few girls with her, 21 to 23. Yo.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, fucking, yeah, they were all train wrecks.
Yeah.
And
train wrecks, partying. And I get it, because I remember when I was 23. I remember when I was 23, I just wanted to drink and go out and do drugs and all that stuff. But now that I'm actually seeing someone that's my age, it's totally a different ball game.
Right.
So, what age to you is like the cutoff for the bullshit? Like, when do they get? Is it like 25?
25. 25. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about 25.
That's about when I start to notice a difference too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what I realized, man, especially as I got older, I reached a point where it's like I can truly say this now. And that's how I wonder how these cats, like, and I know they're wealthy, so maybe it doesn't matter. Like, you're like in your 60s and you're like married to someone who's like 25. But if you're 20, 21, you have nothing for me. You can't do nothing for me. Even if I wasn't married, it's like you can't do anything for me. We don't have enough substance yet for us to, like, what I'm talking about, you're just going to like, okay. And it's just that disconnect, it gets harder as you get older. It just does get harder. But,
it's almost like in a video game where you're like, you create a player and it takes a while to like get them up to like full stats.
Right.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm not right now that we're just testing out material. The clothes doesn't drop till August 14th.
Okay.
But we're just testing out material, and that's gonna be for like Instagram photos and shit.
That's what's up. Yeah.
So this is Damien's, I guess, your brand.
Yeah, Foolish Threads.
Foolish Threads.
Mine and rapper Nikki Will.
Nikki Will. Shout out Nikki. So here's the deal. We'll run a promo for them whenever you get them up and going.
Yeah.
You know, it's maybe you buy like where you have stickers and things like that.
Yeah, I'll have business cards, everything, bro.
Well,
and then everything's gonna be shipping out of Rochester, so I won't have too much inventory here.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit just to have here. But everything's shipping out of Rochester.
Well, then we'll make sure. I'm going to cop. I know Chris will.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but they're going to be like, they're not going to be fucking Gucci prices. They're going to be like $20, $25, like normal fucking T-shirt prices. Like,
well, that's good, but it's to get the brand out.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure we get that under control. I mean, how many careers in hip hop has not? Okay, let's talk about this.
Right.
M single-handedly ended the boy band craze.
Yeah,
he single-handedly
he ended Limp Bizkit.
Well, the sad thing about
Everlast.
And the sad thing about M, he'll never get his due credit.
No, he won't. And I don't even care if he came out with something that had 15 tracks and all 15 went number one. He still wouldn't get it. People would figure something to say like.
It's like Lord Jamar said he's a guest in the House of Hip Hop. I'm just like, That's just.
I think he's one of the architects.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like I forget who said it was like a guest who has the remote and is sitting in the recliner chilling. Like, what are you talking? He has the key to the house. What are you talking about?
Lord Jamar wasn't even the best in his group. What is he even? He doesn't have a say so.
Bro, Eminem has this thing with wordplay, bro. Like he'll rhyme a bunch of words in like 2 different bars. Like he'll just his like most rappers just kind of rhyme it in words. This motherfucker.
No,
he's
like
he rhymes sentences,
look,
bro. Yeah,
it's like this. Look, you know, it's like a job interview, and they ask you, "Are you good with Microsoft Word?" there's like that, and then there's a developer who knows like the code. Like, there's a difference between Microsoft Word and writing code.
Oh, yeah.
He is writing code,
bro.
So you can talk about him, and how dare you be good with not even a Microsoft Word, but like a Note on a Mac, and be talking about someone who's a developer. That's what people are doing. So it's like, Lord Jamar, man, you're talking about Eminem as if like I need you, and this is nothing against him, but like if you're gonna talk about Eminem, I need you to be Royce. I need you to be someone who had fire bars, who we're gonna respect lyrically enough to be calling somebody a guest.
And you know, it's funny you mentioned Royce, because Royce is, in my opinion, the only rapper right now that could contend with him, and they're best friends.
Yeah.
So he ain't gonna go at him.
See, mine is Nas.
Like your lyricist.
Like, well, no, as far as competing with Eminem, as far as on a lyrical level.
But if we're talking diss tracks,
I think so I think he does compete. I think he competes. I just think it's hard to pin down. See, everybody has their what they like as far as like what makes you a competitor.
Yeah.
So I think like we talk about, me and him talked about tiers.
Yeah.
There is no
certain
list.
tiers where
there's not a 1 through 10. There's tier 1. Then there's like what you got over here on the wall. There's a bunch of tier 1 artists on there.
Yeah.
Then there's a tier 2. Like, for example, we put consensus. everybody probably would put Jay-Z in the tier 1, just because longevity, what he's meant to the game, all that. Tier 2, some people put Nas in tier 2.
And let me throw you out let me throw y'all out somebody who, because I remember the hype around him, and it's been years ago now. Someone, they were like, "This is that dude lyrically, Papoose."
Mm-hmm. He can't record a song.
That's the problem.
But
he's not. He's lyrical, but you got to be able to put the package together, and that's why I always will say this. And most people don't even know who he is, but I love Nas. I'll always think AZ is better. Always.
I agree.
Always. Because I think AZ's lyrics are... he has the complete package, but he was like Nas's boy, and it's just like...
he was always in the shadow.
He was always in the shadow, but I always thought he was better. But he's only known for like Sugar Hill and a couple of songs, but I'm like, everything this dude put out was fire, but that's just the way it works. And Jay-Z has Nas beat because I cannot tell you Jay-Z's a better lyricist than Nas. I can't.
No,
but commercially,
too.
Yeah, commercially, yeah,
he's
100%.
got him murked, and it's just, and
but
that's why
Jay
Jay-Z's
got all
where
the best production too. Like, I mean, he got to handpick what he wanted.
Well, and that's what you got to realize is this, man. It's like, and here's a good example. If you do YouTube, right? It's all about advertisement, right? Mm-hmm. You can be as funny as possible, or you can have a great show. If there's harsh language in it, somebody less funny is gonna make more money. Mm-hmm. As long as you're okay with it, it doesn't matter. But that's just how it works. Because when people are putting advertisement on something, it's about who's our target audience, and it has to be clean. That's just how it works. And so I say that to say that when it comes to like rap, it's that commercial appeal. And if you can't get the commercial appeal, nothing else, you'll never be heard. Now, that's what, and actually to me, that's what makes Nas so great. Mm-hmm. He didn't really have a commercial appeal. I mean, he has some songs, obviously, but for the most part, it wasn't the commercial appeal. It was straight bars.
It was storytelling.
Yes, his storytelling. His
storytelling
is what is.
That one song about him being the gun.
That
bro,
the gun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You know what Nas is to me?
What's that?
He's like right now equivalent of like Bradley Beal, the best player on a shitty team. And what I mean by shitty team is like he never got the best production, he never got the best beats, but he destroyed what he could control. And if he had, imagine Nas on all of Jay-Z's beats, and then Jay-Z
or had Dre working with him or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I just real quick was to say rap is. That's why I feel so bad that people are so harsh on certain people, because don't you feel like if we look back and we turn ourselves back into a time where we think about certain albums when they came out, they were just as important as, like, even for me, right? And I can name a couple easy. Nelly Country Grammar. When that was out, I don't care. First of all, and Nelly is like top 3 or 4 sold albums ever. I remember when Country Grammar came out.
Country Grammar changed a lot of things.
It did.
Bro.
So you got that, and then you got Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
God, yeah. These things, you see what I'm saying? These things are monumental. You can't take that away. I remember Cameron, Purple Haze.
Yeah.
These albums, dude. Joel Santana, From Me to You. These albums were albums. God, and then they're all different. Young Jock, when his album came out.
Oh my God, bro! I was a big Young Jock.
Dude, his album was fire. So that's why it's like you can't erase that. You can't erase what those albums. And I think we're too harsh. You know, when we talk about the greatest or whatever, I just think sometimes we're too harsh on. Well, you're not this. Well, you're not that. And I just think you can name so many albums like that, and it's the same way. It's the same way with It's the same way with R&B, and it goes over the time. Like I know some people say the Black Album. It's just like different albums. What's your favorite Jay-Z album?
Mine?
Yeah,
Reasonable Doubt. Easy.
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt.
But
me too. But I'm saying, like, when you look at it that way, we can all name albums that were just fire, and to try to put that cap on it, those are those. And see, albums I don't feel like they hit like that no more.
No,
they don't hit like that no more. But there was a time
when people are pressed to put stuff out so often.
Yeah,
you can't wait for stuff anymore.
And then there's songs too, by the way. The same way the albums did that. Like, if I just had, okay, not an album, but let's talk about a song. Remember Black Rob? Like, whoa, Nice Clothes. When that came out, that was like one of those songs that's like, it hit hard. It's just, but for the most part, it's with albums. They're all different, but these people, they left monumental, it was a monumental, Juvenile.
Well,
I mean, 500 Degrees.
Well, that's the thing. Back then,
400.
Back then, people were buying albums. Right. Now with the digital, everyone's buying songs. So all you gotta do is just have that one hit that everyone fucking streams.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, yeah.
That's what makes Drake so incredible. Yeah, his albums stream, not just songs. Like, and he's done it in the digital.
That's
age.
the thing about Drake. That's just, God have mercy. Drake is just
Kendrick same way too.
Yeah, he's competing with himself. He's now on I think his album's been in the top Billboard 200 for
who, Drake?
Kendrick for like, I forget how many weeks. I think 200 weeks, and the other two he's competing with are his own albums. One's been on there. I think one's been on there for like 400. It's ridiculous. He's competing against his own other two albums.
That's funny.
Hey, he's waited long enough to where his next album better be a classic.
And I think it will be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Rihanna, going back to her. The next album, she's waited long enough.
It's got to be fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the negative about waiting so long is sometimes you're gonna.
That's the thing about. That's the thing I think is. I always say this, man. I know people probably hate it, but to me, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't, like I say this about Drake all the time. Pound for pound, Drake may go down as the greatest rapper ever. Doesn't even mean you think he's the best, but when you put him side by side, and we're talking about a guy it's pristine from 2008 to now, darn near flawless. Yeah. It's just, and I'm also able to say part of my attachment to Drake's music is, when I think about So Far Gone, I was at a place in life where that album was what I was living. I literally was whether it was I went back to school, so it's like when you hear he's like I'm doing me right now, and it's like there's a whole lot of whatever in here. What am I like? Every little piece of that, I just want to be successful, right? I'm in this new play, like I identify with that, like that album was made for me. I can't step aside from that. So I know that I'm probably a little more hype on stuff like that than others, but still, for a guy who's changed with the times for like basically 13 years and just been flawless, man.
Yeah,
he's been God darn, he's done it, man. He just has done it. Even and he appeals to the hard thing about him is he can rap. We know he's got bars. The beats have been fire. He created his own sound, and the women love him. Everybody, I mean, even if you're hating on Drake, then he comes up with something you're like, yo, that joint's kind of hot. You can't, like, it's hard to hate him. It's just hard to hate him.
Even people that publicly shame Drake and talk shit about him, they know all the words.
Yes.
Stuff. You know,
exactly. That's the thing, man. But that's the thing about hip-hop is when I think we get so critical of, like, we get so critical of who's the best, but when I think about certain, like we said, Get Rich or Die, when you just think about the way those things hit, man, it's just it's hard. I remember also another one is Eminem when he first came out, and I know people that say they didn't like My Name Is. Man, Slim Shady LP was fire. I bought that in Chicago. I was in Chicago in 1999. I bought that on a school trip.
When that album came out, it ended racism for about 6 months.
Yeah, man,
at least.
Yeah,
everybody.
And everybody. 97 Bonnie and Clyde, bro. Damn.
And they
Guilty Conscience was another one.
Yeah.
As the World Turns, I love that song on it. That song was lyrical.
Drugs ever since the day I was born. Drugs. I mean, what they used to say I was on.
Hey, how come
it's just like
nobody talks about D12 when they
brain
talk
damage.
about Eminem anymore. Like D12 was pretty important to his success.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were with him from day one.
Yeah, Wu-Tang too was another. It's like another 36 chapters.
To me, Wu-Tang is hip hop.
Yeah.
Because think about where. To me, they are the reason that I wouldn't even call it gangster rap. I would talk about like gutter type shit. That was the first I ever heard that I was like, what is this? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like 93, 94.
And those are those albums I can name where you just not able to step aside from. You remember where you were at that time. Another one is Outkast. When they came with like Speaker Box and Love Below. Mm-hmm. That was a Outkast has. That's why they're legends. They have several of them. Speaker Box, Love Below. What was their other one that I'm trying to think of one where Aquemini.
Is Aquemini their best album?
First? It's not their most successful one, but as far as best,
is Stank On You the number one?
No, man. That's why they're legends. It's hard.
But here's the thing that is crazy. Today I was on Facebook and I follow this hip hop thing, and they had 4 albums, and it says you got to get rid of one. There was the Low End Theory by Tribe. First of all, that's iconic. The fact that was even on that list is crazy. Right. There was America's Most Wanted, Ice Cube. There was Outkast, Aquemini,
right,
and then Nas Illmatic.
Yeah,
they said out of those 4, one's got to go. It was staggering how many people were picking Outkast.
Yeah.
Now, personally, out of those 4, I'm picking Ice Cube.
Yeah, I'm picking Ice Cube
because I mean that's a great album.
And which one was the one for?
It was Nas Illmatic,
right?
Tribe, the Low End Theory.
Yeah.
Then of course Aquemini, and then America's Most Wanted by Ice Cube.
That's hard. Though,
it is. It's very hard. But if one's got to go, I'm picking Cube because I don't like Cube as a rapper. To be honest.
I do. I mean, I like. It's a different time, so with respects to it, I mean, but I get what you're saying.
I like him as a writer.
And I do too. I do. There's memories, man. Like there's certain memories I would not like. For example, like because music is so in touch with what you're going through. It's funny if I had like to take memories to the grave with me. One I'm taking is Tribe Called Quest Award Tour playing Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Genesis. I'm not giving that up.
Nope.
On a snow day at Aunt Nellie's house. That's what I'm like. That's what you identify with as you just. That's where music was, and because of that, I can tell you it was 1993. Like I literally can. that's the thing about music for me. I can tell you.
It identifies a time period.
It identifies a time period, and I can dwindle that down to like, oh yeah, summer 04. Yeah, I remember. I remember in that picture, like MySpace, looking like Tom in that white shirt. Like I can, you know what I'm saying? Like I can identify with like, yo, I know where I was at. Like even like those big monumental moments. I remember where I was sitting the first time I logged on Facebook. Easy. I was at this little desk in my homegirl's house, and it's just like
I had to use a school email.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
That was back before the public could be.
Yep, same here, man. I had to use a Virginia Highlands. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
I wish they gave you the option to go back to that first way that Facebook looked.
Yeah,
do you remember?
Yeah. I like. Well, you know what's crazy about that too? I know this is kind of a spinoff, but I remember logging on there and being like, "What am I gonna say? I gotta be careful, man, because this will be on here 20 years from now." But it's funny, like. A lot of my friends, they didn't care, man. But I was just that way. I was like, I'm sketchy about this, man. Like, I remember the early days, like the internet too. Like, I remember like even like Oregon Trail. That's like really dating me, but it's like, but for real, it's like I remember Oregon Trail, and I'm like
with the floppy disk.
Yeah, I remember. I'm like, yo, this joint. Yeah, for real. I'm like, I remember this joint is like I'm supposed to be up in here like learning how to type. And I'm up in here like, yo, this Oregon Trail joint is fire. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Just the game has changed, man. The game has changed in general, man. But I think this past year, what it has been good. It's brought a lot of people back together. People have started to cherish just friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Because you see people drop off. Look, man, we lost more than 1% of the United States, man. And I tell people all the time, you know, I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories about, you know, about the Roni or whatever. But you know what? Conspiracy theories don't help me. What's a conspiracy? All I know is 1% of Americans died. I don't care if the government did it or the abominable snowman. It ain't gonna fix it. I'm just trying to get past it and try to get back and get to making this bread. That's the way I look at it, though, man. Because I always hear people, you know, the Russians did it. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm not Matlock, man. I got work on Monday. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the Russians giving us this, man. It's just always something crazy, man. People come to conclusions however they want, but it is what it is, man.
I just focused on myself, man. Mm-hmm. That's all I did, bro. I couldn't do shows. I went out and bought a house.
Yeah, that's
like, fuck it, let me go get me a house then.
Yeah, man, that's what's.
Hey, that's congratulations.
And congrats.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
A very nice home.
Yeah,
appreciate
congrats,
it,
man. Congrats.
But yeah, that's just
It's nice too when you call it yours, ain't it, man?
Yeah, right. It is.
It is. And that's the thing. Let me point this out. That's the funniest thing because the most superficial people with the most high demands don't even own their own stuff. And got 100%. All kinds of like, I don't like that. You don't own nothing.
Hey, that's a good segue back into women.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't own nothing.
Yeah.
Talking about you got standards. You live at I mean, come on. Like, you don't own nothing.
So let me ask y'all something. Have you ever had a woman try to come at you on some sugar baby shit? Either one of y'all.
I shut it down real quick.
So you have had somebody.
I mean, I've had girls ask for money and stuff. I've never given it.
Like, how did they approach you with it? Like,
hey, I'm late on this. Can you send me this much money?
like they straight up, yeah.
Like I've never had them try to ease their way into it, but it's just straight up.
Yeah,
it's straight up.
Yeah.
Did they guilt trip you? Like, I can't make this payment this month. I guess my phone's gonna get cut off.
Then I would go. I guess we're not texting.
It's like, oh man, that sucks. I'll just hit you up on Messenger.
I haven't ever experienced that. I've had when I was dating. I've had girls like try to figure out how much I made, and I'm just like, I play like I'm broke. This is how I am. I'm like,
I make $200.
I do all right. I'm like, I do all right, but that's just how I am. Just because I don't want that to be what's important anyway. Yeah. But I'm just kind of that way because that's not really important. I mean, I'm not gonna say money ain't important. It is, but what I make it ain't gonna change me. It don't matter what I make. It ain't gonna change who I am. I'm gonna be the same person. So
as long as I'm able to afford to take you out and
right.
all my shit, like it shouldn't matter how much I make. I mean, right. I'm not making you pay for shit.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but it's hard, man. Like I do know, like just the expectations, man. There's a disconnect, and I always tell Trace about it. I listen to this cat, man. He gets people riled up. His name's Kevin Samuels, and shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. I like his content.
Friend
man.
of the show.
Yeah. I listen to him, man, because I'm just so interested in. And obviously, I'm married. I'm happily married, but I listen to because I'm all about seeing why people can't meet in the middle. And what he points out is, and Atlanta's a very good microcosm of that. You have these women, highly educated. They're looking for a man who has this. And it's like, let's just be honest, first of all. You want a man who makes 6 figures. Okay. Let's first look at the percentage of men that make 6 figures. So be realistic.
Single. Too.
And there's more women than men anyway, right? Yeah, single, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the deal, too. And you likely want them to be young. The truth is, I think less than 10% of the population of men make that anyway. Now, you want them to be young. It's just they're in their 40s by that time. So it's like when you start to build up all this, it's like what you're looking for almost doesn't exist. And it's like you've got 1,000 women fighting for one man. And then you find out 500 of those women are friends. And he's like, you're not even, if this is what you want, you got to be able to you got to be willing to elbow your friend in the ribs to take this man. And you're not, no, we'll get them together. No, there's one of them.
And then they expect a man to be, honing in on one woman.
And and he's got 500, right? So he's got
he's got his choice of what he wants to do.
Yeah, and the thing, the biggest thing I see is there's always these women that are like, why don't you should this, you should that, and this is what I'm saying is like this. It's like when I go and I understand why the women kind of don't understand, but here's the deal. When I go fishing, right? What do you put on your line when you fish?
Well, it depends.
Worms. You. There you go. You see,
worms,
he already knew, but you're saying it depends. The first thing you said, I didn't even have to ask you. It depends on what you're trying to catch. Mm-hmm. I can't go fishing for, we'll say, red snapper and be like, well, they should like popcorn. You can't. No. You have to see what red snapper. You have to see what red snapper want, and you have to. If you want red snapper, you have to cast to get red snapper.
Hey, but that's the thing.
That's the problem.
They're going to keep putting that popcorn on that thing and just keep.
And they're mad that they're mad that red snapper won't take popcorn. Stop putting popcorn on the line. So you can't say I want this type of man, but I'm doing this to get him. He doesn't want that, and that's what Kevin Samuels says. It's like you got to get if it's bluegill, what do they like? If it's red snapper, what do they like? And it's like you're saying you want a man. You're saying you want a high-value man that makes this much. Let me tell you, it's like this. Look, you got a high-value man. We'll call him a CEO. Now, Cardi B, we know who she's married to. High-value man doesn't want Cardi B. He needs to be able to take his wife, to the White House. That's just how it is. So you can't throw that at him. And that's what he talks about that I love is he's like, y'all keep on trying to catch. You're trying to catch stuff with the wrong bait. And you got to stop it. And you have to take this. No, they don't. And they're not going to. And you're going to keep on having this thing where you got, she wants this, he wants this. They want the same thing, kind of. But they're not meeting in the middle because someone's not willing to adjust. And as far as the man, there's less men than women. He ain't gonna adjust. He's just not going to adjust. So what we in society, what I will say is this. He's like, there's this whole thing to make men and women equal. Are dogs and cats the same? They're not. We're different creatures. Where have we got to this place where we're all the same? It's just not true. This whole last time I checked, the fastest woman in the country in high school in track and field couldn't beat the worst guy. She might be a better athlete in comparison, but she's just not a better athlete than him. There's nothing wrong with that. It's the way he's built. And we shouldn't be upset about that. But we're trying to make it we're all equal.
Well, a good comparison is think about the NBA versus the WNBA. You don't see WNBA players dunking like
I'm
they
glad
do
you
in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I mean, can some players dunk? Yeah, but a one-handed like running layup that they do,
Windmill,
you don't see them catching oops in the
Yeah,
WNBA.
no.
Yeah, and for the statements I hear,
You barely see them making threes.
they should make as much as
Shots fired.
and you hear it, they should make as much as the NBA or teachers should make as much as actors. No, they shouldn't.
No.
I'm sorry, no, they shouldn't. Because here's the
Teachers
deal.
should be paid more, but
Here's what you got to understand, and I know you guys understand. Should teachers be paid more? Yes. Should they make more than Denzel? No. Why? Because the last time I checked, it's a government job. Like the same person saying they should be paid more doesn't even want to pay their taxes. Denzel, he gets paid because we go to a movie theater, we buy all kinds of popcorn, we pay them.
Nobody's paying to see Miss Jenkins teach English. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the key. You're right. That's the key, man.
But are teachers important? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Man, absolutely. It's just we got to get back to a place where we're like, where we're real about it. Like, and that's on everything. Like, they didn't hire me because of this. Bruh, you've never worked in a kitchen, man. Other dude's a chef. Like, you're not qualified.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing other than the fact you're not qualified, man. That's it. Like, imagine me going to get a job as like a 5-star chef, and I'm like, they didn't like me because of my hair. No, man, you didn't know what soup was.
Yeah.
we gotta be real with ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten to a point where we're just so soft. We don't want to look in the mirror.
People want to be handed things.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I mean, it's like I may want to be the GM of the Milwaukee Bucks. Mm-hmm. But just because I played basketball one time in my life doesn't mean that I'm qualified.
Yep.
I mean,
you're absolutely right.
I mean,
man.
it's like Damian is going to have his own Netflix comedy special one day, right?
Right. Yeah.
But not everybody can do that. Not just because you like Damian's comedy.
Yeah. And you know how
Dame
the haters
comedy, Dame comedy at Dame comedy.
Dame comedy, yeah.
Like,
you know how the haters be too. I'm funnier than him. No, you're not. Just
No.
because your mom laughs at your jokes, doesn't mean you're funny. No. You're not.
you're not Dame funny.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
I
exactly.
appreciate that.
Hey,
No doubt, though.
And I want to say something else. Like I really respect Damian's hustle. Like,
Oh, I do. We was
because-
talking about that the other day. We was like, man, this dude hustles.
I mean,
we love it.
I mean the fact
Real.
that Damian is who. If you don't have any friends like Damian, you need to either be friends with Damian,
You gotta level up for real.
or get somebody that, because you need to surround yourself with that energy. If you're gonna be anybody or do anything in this life, you gotta have people that is encouraging you and pushing you to do something bigger than just clock in and clock out for 40 years and then go and die after you retire.
And that's a good point. Me and you, and I have to give like all the details, but even conversations like, I don't know if it was me, you, and Troy at the same time, but I know I've had a conversation with you and Troy. I'm like, look, man, well, what I'm trying to do in this world, I'm trying to go to a place that's not where your common person is going to be. I want y'all to be with me. I'm going to share with y'all what I'm doing. If we're going to be there together, y'all got to start. We all, myself too, we got to make these decisions now because I know I'm going. The question is, will you be there? Mm-hmm. Some people don't want to have those conversations. We had those type of conversations. Tracy's like, yeah, I'm trying to go too. What we got to do? And we do it. Some people are like, some people just aren't willing to do that. And then they'll want you to feel bad for them when they had the same opportunity and they ain't take it. Nope, I'm not feeling. Look, because my thing is this. Just by the sheer nature, if you my boy and I see that you're on your grind doing what you got to do. Look, if I make it, you make it. Mm-hmm. But if you weren't doing what it took, nope, I don't care. You could be my brother. If you weren't doing what it took and I was like telling you, you on your own, kid. I can't do it for you. I'm not doing it for you because it ain't come easy to me. I know the stress. It's like I know the stress I've carried. Mm-hmm. I know the disappointments I've had. So if I've seen you just chilling on the couch, I'm not bearing that burden for you.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I've had people try to get me to make them skip steps and get an opening act show. I'm like, nah, you better take your ass to those open mics.
exactly.
yeah,
you gotta go through that pain the same way I did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree.
I got out of the open mic scene in comedy real fast though, because I'm like, nah, I did this for rap. I'm not gonna put another.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out of this as fast as I can and master this as quick as I can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you know, it's funny. We've all known each other. I've known Damien for 6 or 7 years now.
Right.
And you know, I've known you since '98. So
Yeah, that's crazy. We go back deep. We do.
But there's a reason that us three are sitting here.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we've all three been friends for a while.
The same cloth.
But think about all the friends that have been there that has kind of trickled off or whatever.
Right.
And we're still cool with, I'm sure, a lot of them. But when you want to do something bigger, like a podcast or comedy or music, you have to make the steps. You have to do the shit. Like, you can't just talk about it. Like, we're done talking. You know, it's time to put the action behind it. And that's where a lot of people fail.
You're right.
Is action.
You're right. There's this chick I used to work with named Kaylin, and shout out to her. She lives back home. She's doing her thing, man. Like, she's got all kinds of stuff going on. And I just saw a post she had made about, you know, I guess her husband had said, like, I wish I had, like, the drive you had. And she was saying, like, it's exhausting sometimes. And I was telling her, like, yo, I respect that. And because it's like...
You talking about her? She's saying that about her husband?
Her husband said he wished he had the drive she had. He was just saying, like, he admires her. Because she's always in go. Always in go. And I get it, because everybody's not like that.
But you me tell you something?
Everybody's not like that.
And I'm speculating.
Right.
If a woman hears that from her man...
But I think it's okay, though. Because the reason I say that is... We're not all the same, here's the thing about me. No joke. If I was at the level Jeff Bezos was at, most people would be like, I'm good. I'm not me. I always will have. What's next? That's who I am. And she was making the point. It's exhausting. It gets exhausting. But that's just the way my motor runs. Because here's the deal. Even if I had Jeff Bezos money and I got there, I feel like I can offer the world more. It wouldn't even be about me. At that point, when you got 150 billion, what can I do for others? Nick Saban's probably approaching 70.
Mm-hmm.
But you just keep on going. But it's because you do something every day. When you settle down and just sit around, what happens? It's just like if you stop exercising, right? You wear yourself out because your muscles aren't used to it anymore.
Yes, and yeah. I mean, you can tell if you've ever been in the gym at any point, got any kind of gains, you stop going, it goes quick. It goes so quick. And that's the gym is a very humbling place. So when it comes to relationship things, what do you think is your number one thought? Like, when you look at a woman, what's your first thing to get you interested? Like, what's that first thing? And it could be looks. It could be like how she dresses. It could be, like what is that first thing that you look for personally?
I do look for style and the way she dresses. I
look for style, and looks is for me it's all inclusive. It's like it's like it all just fits into one. There has to be attraction. There just has to be. Okay. And if the attraction's there, right, sure. It's just like, okay, attraction's there.
Let's see about personality.
Yeah, it's personality. And then at that point, it's just like, okay, it's there. And then from that point, it's internal all the way. But I'm saying, and the attraction has to be there. Yeah. And then once that's there, it's internal all the way.
What I'm really referring to is like what specifically, like do you look at, like when you say style, is it like the way she dresses?
Yeah, the way she dresses for me.
Her hair,
It's part of it's just like the way she dresses. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, lack of makeup.
That's something too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want them drowning in makeup because I know what that's gonna look like in the morning.
Yeah, like natural.
You're fucking up the pillows.
Yeah, like natural. Yeah, like natural. Just like.
So why do women look like a clown and just cake it on?
Man, I think it's standards that have been set that. And I think some of them just they like their own style, but
even though men are sitting there saying I don't like it, but they still.
A lot of men say it too. A lot of men say they don't like that.
it just goes to show women don't give a shit.
You ever make out with a girl with a lot of lipstick?
Yeah.
No. That's not for me.
That's one thing. Like my wife don't wear no. She don't even wear makeup at all.
You gotta have like a certain type of lips to wear lipstick.
Yeah.
Like, you really do. Not everybody can pull that off.
Well, and the thing is, like, do you gotta wear it every day? Like,
right.
It's
what's
okay.
Hold up, what's it for? Like,
It's just some superficial beauty standard that was made up.
But like, first of all, what is lipstick made of?
I think it's made of.
It's gotta be like.
I was told it had something to do with horse.
That's what I forget. Yeah, I heard something like that.
Pigs or something like that.
So is it the same stuff they put in like Starburst, like that wax?
I don't know exactly what it is. But
somebody had to do that for the first time.
But you know what? It's like that with all that. Somebody had to paint their nails the first time, right?
That's true.
But what I've noticed though, and this is no joke, is beauty standards are different everywhere. What I would love to know, and it would be nice, I would love to know, joke, have some people on here from different cultures, and they tell us what Americans do that just sounds straight stupid.
That's true. That would be cool.
Because my thing is this, I'm very open to cultures, so I'm generally like, yo, it's cool. I don't care what you do. But I would love for them to be like, yo, y'all do this. It's whack. We're like, what are y'all doing? I would love that.
That would be cool.
Even if it's somebody that grew up here and she's like, hey, our parents aren't from here. And they're like, yo, they think it's crazy that we do this. I would love to see that. That would be tight because you get an idea. And I'm someone who's generally open to it. That's one thing I feel about America. I do feel like that's what's made America what it is you do get the best of all kinds of culture. I just got one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. Both of y'all. One, first of all, real quick, the best show you've ever been to. God, musical show.
I've been to over 100 concerts. One
that stands out, and then the one person you haven't seen you'd like to see. For me on the show, I would say my best show ever that I probably had the most fun at, and man, I've been to some. My most legendary, I'll do two. My most legendary show I've ever been to was I was in Panama City back in 07 or 08, and Drake, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, all of them, Cash Money, and at the time we had no clue how monumental Drake would become. It was like his first song. I don't even know if it was his actual song. He did my everything, but and it's like he was on there. And I'm like, he wasn't even the same Drake we know now. He was just so Nicki Minaj to see them before they blew up, and even Lil Wayne. That was right before his real rise. This was them at their prime. That was legendary. But my favorite show, and you were there, probably Logic.
I've seen Logic like 3 or 4 times.
Logic was I
Was
thoroughly enjoyed.
that the one that we went to?
We were all
You're
there.
Right. You're right. We were all there.
That was my birthday.
Yeah,
that's probably
Dizzy Wright opened up for him.
That's probably my favorite show ever.
I remember you said, I'm here to see
even
Dizzy Wright, and everybody's like,
Bro, yes, because I didn't know who Logic was, but then I became like his biggest fan. I've seen that fucker 3 times
I
now.
didn't know much about him before either, but that was at was that the Tabernacle?
Yeah, the Tabernacle.
Oh.
I literally went for Dizzy Wright.
I love that show. By the way, let me just say, Tyler Perry talked about he was having the show in Atlanta at like a place called the Tabernacle that used to be a church. And I was like, is he talking about the same place? Like,
yep.
Yeah, he said that's like that was his biggest one that like sold out in his early days, and I was like, he's got to be talking about the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's for me. And then I'll be honest, if I'm talking about someone I haven't seen, there's really two. Well, I can't say that. I was going to say Drake, but that'd be saying Drake is who he is now. But really, I'll say, man, I'd love to go to Travis Scott.
I would love to go see Travis Scott
because they're so amped.
There's so much energy.
It's
bro.
like Lollapalooza or something. They're so nuts, man. Like Tomorrow World, they get down.
Like
man.
I don't understand what Travis Scott says a lot. But I would totally go watch him live.
Yeah, dude, I would love to go to
I watched this documentary on Netflix, and that shit. Some of the highlights from those shows, they just go hard for him.
And I've turned down opportunities that now looking back, I'm like I had opportunities for like 3 years in a row, or not 3 years in a row, but I probably had like 2 opportunities to go like Bonnaroo and stuff, and I was like, I didn't understand at the time, and a lot of time I don't know anymore, but people are like, yeah, Bonnaroo's not the same. Well, this is when Bonnaroo was Bonnaroo, and I was just like,
I went to 4 straight Bonnaroo.
See, is it every year?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So it was 3 years in a row, and it was like back in the days when I was like working at restaurants or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll go, I'm good. And now looking back, I'm like, dude, that was when Bonnaroo was probably Bonnaroo. I should have went. I'm very much into like.
I'll talk about Bonnaroo in a minute.
But I'll let y'all go, man. That's mine. So mine would be now. I would probably do like Travis Scott or something like that.
Okay. You go ahead.
Eminem was probably my favorite I've seen.
Yeah.
Just legendary.
Once to that point,
or
Backstreet
Boys. Or Backstreet Boys.
I'm glad you said that because when I was in Chicago in '99, that night Eminem was performing at the House of Blues Hotel, and I don't know if we were. I think we stayed there. I'm pretty sure we stayed there or very close to there, and I actually. There was like 2 bouncers, and I ran past them, and I like saw them on stage before I was like gripped up. And they're like, "Kid, get out of here!" And I was like, "I don't care." I saw Eminem, and so like I saw him on stage, and this was new. I just bought a CD or whatever, so it was a pretty awesome experience. But that's definitely that's awesome.
Well, and Backstreet Boys, that was a legendary show. That brought me back to my '90s.
I bet that was wild.
It was. It was such a good, and like Flow Rider opened up for them. And Fergie opened up for him.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy lineup.
Yeah, and then Backstreet Boys headline. It was fucking awesome. Like
that's crazy.
I'm over there singing every song. Girls wondering if I'm gay. Yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm living my childhood.
Ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So hold up. Did they say it out loud? I wonder if he's gay.
No. Me and Keaton were there. We're just jamming out these songs. These girls sitting next to us, and then we looked at them, and they're like, "Why are y'all here?" And then me and Keaton, first thing we said, "We're not gay."
Let's clarify that.
We're just
well. First of all, I think you might have done something there because to go to a Backstreet Boys concert to get girls, that's actually
we were dancing with them, singing with them.
That's actually pretty genius. That's better than going to the club.
All right.
Who you got?
So I don't know if this answers all of them in one, but I'm gonna go with my very first concert I ever went to. It was in middle school. It was 1997. It was a No Way Out tour.
Yeah.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Puff Daddy
before P Diddy. Let me just tell you. Let me just tell you the opening acts.
Yeah,
he had 4. There was this little kid came on and was dancing, popping and locking, singing a little bit.
Yeah,
his name was Usher. The next 2 people came on. One was wild. One was bouncing around. The other was his hype man. This was before the curtains even opened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
By the name of Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star.
That's crazy.
Then this group came on after that.
They still tight as ever.
This group. I was like,
112?
who the hell is all this? No, it was a rap group.
Oh, it was a rap group, okay.
And swaggiest dudes I've ever seen. Just come out, and this is back, the 90s, so they got the chains, they got the baggy clothes, everything. Back then, they were known as the Taliban.
Yeah, and now they'd be diplomats.
Now they're the diplomats.
Yep.
I saw Jim Jones when he wore the mask.
That's crazy.
I saw when I saw Jewels, he looked like Usher. I thought it was the same dude. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
Then the curtains open, and guess who was the pre-opening to Diddy's whole show?
It's like
Lil' Kim.
Oh man.
Then on top of that, I got to see Mace.
I know Mace was there.
I got to see 112. I got to see Total. I got to see Diddy.
That's packed. Yes, that's a pack.
This was my first concert.
Yes, that's back. Hanging.
I was in middle school. I was sitting about 10 rows from the stage. I didn't know that this was not normal to be at this particular thing. The craziest thing, I'd never seen anybody famous in person to this point. I was in like 7th grade. Diddy came from the rafters down.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was on. He may
on air.
He may have been on air. I don't know. But he just came down, and I was like, now I'm gonna tell you, the next day I went to Champ Sports and bought this. he was wearing, now at a concert, he was wearing a cutoff, like you could buy the cutoff. It wasn't like cut up sleeves. It was like legitimately like cut off. Nike cutoff. I was like, I'm buying one of those. I wore that thing till it had holes in it. Like I will never forget that concert. I've been a hip hop fan my whole life, but that particular concert was so important to me because it kind of parlayed the rest of my life into so many other avenues.
Right.
But now let's transition to Bonnaroo. I went to Bonnaroo 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the number one group that I ever saw. I saw the Beastie Boys before MCA died there. I've seen J. Cole before he was J. Cole. I saw I've seen so many. I've seen probably collectively in my lifetime at least 1,000 artists. Yeah, because of festivals and things.
And by the way, I don't even add one music fest because I've seen so many people there. It's like if I added that, you can see it's nasty. It's just so many.
One
good
music fest is incredible.
It's incredible.
Best festival. I
love it. Yeah,
but
you run into people from your hometown. It's like, what are you doing here? Yeah, that's how crazy it is. You know what I'm saying?
So at Bonnaroo, the number one live show I saw, and it could have been because I was fucked up and I was on some things that I probably wouldn't do today. But it was Kings of Leon.
Yeah. Straight.
They did. Do you remember the Pixies? Where's My Mind?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They covered that.
Oh, I bet it was fire.
Everything in life slowed down to slow motion for about 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I couldn't get out of it. So I just enjoyed the ride. And those two things probably were the most iconic for me.
Cut off on you. But you got a good piece. We better wrap it up anyway.
But yeah, so did it get all that?
It just missed the last piece.
Well, all I know
Bonnaroo,
is Bonnaroo is one of those things that if we ever get back out of a pandemic, I encourage anybody to go.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to make sure that you're ready to not take a shower or a bath for about 3 days, 4 days.
Don't they do a festival here?
They used to.
Maybe they did one in Georgia.
Tomorrow World. Yeah.
It's not here all the time, though, right?
Well, Music Midtown's here all the time. That's where I saw Eminem.
Well, they took Tomorrow World because that was down south somewhere.
It was that back. It was over by where I lived. When I was in,
they took it out.
Douglasville or something.
They took it away for some reason.
Okay,
I think.
But was that every year or just a one time thing?
Yeah, no, it was several times.
Okay.
But bottom line is, I hope we can get that's the one thing I'm gonna miss the most if we don't get out of this pandemic is music. Music is the one thing. I don't even care about live sports as much.
I'm with you.
It's the music that I'm worried about.
Because I need to get back on stage. I want to perform music.
Yes.
Shit.
And side note, for those that don't know, Damien has opened for some pretty prominent people before.
Lil Dicky.
We saw him open for Lil Dicky.
I wish I opened for him now because I'm a lot better now. But
and
we've seen in crowd
Hobson,
right?
I got dropped.
Well, I gotta try to knock it up. We've seen him crowd drop.
I attempted. They were weak.
They
were weak.
I remember
the weekends.
I think it was Zager that was like, I think Damien's hurt or something.
Was that the Masquerade?
Yeah, it was at the Masquerade.
It's closed, right?
No, they have a new one in Underground Lane. But no, what happened? I got the munchies. The crowd's going in. This crowd's going hard.
It was going hard.
And I told them to put their hands up, and everyone put their hands up. I'm like, yes, we're doing it. And it was the perfect jump. I cleared the little gap, and I did the back turn. And Keaton said I had the biggest smile on my face just because of how perfect I did this jump. It wasn't a line drive or anything. I gave him the lob. And next thing I know, Vakia says my smile goes away right when my back hits the ground.
Oh, God.
And the worst part was they had the decency to pick me up and launch me back on stage.
Did it knock the breath out of you?
My adrenaline was up so high, dude.
I think me and Trace we just got a beer.
Yeah, we were looking, just got a beer, and we were like,
we saw you disappear. We were like, oh God!
Oh no!
And then you reappear back on stage. Like, okay, we think he's okay. Medical check.
And I'll tell you, man, it was such a surreal night for so many reasons. I mean, to think that's I know the guy on stage right now, just killing it. Y'all, if y'all had any kind of if you were what you are now.
Bro.
that place would have been jumping,
Bro.
because it was still fresh for y'all.
Right.
Like, you were still fairly new.
Yo,
still
dude, we were rapping off. I was rapping off beat. I was
Yeah,
back then, but bro,
That's
now,
the memory, though, man. You came up since
Yeah,
then.
I was taking shots with Lil Dicky though. Now he has to show Dave, and I was taking shots with dude. One of my stand-up comedian jokes is about Gata in that show.
That's what's up.
So we're
man.
talking about him buying the Shirley Temple.
Hey, Lil Dicky is very underrated.
Yeah,
in so many
100%.
Oh,
ways.
he is, man.
To me,
What's that song about? Basically, like, he's talking about the money. He's like, they basically
Save that money?
save that money.
Yeah, save that money. Yeah, I love that jump. I love that jump, man.
My favorite, probably. Well, I mean, there's a lot of songs I like of his, but I like the Professional Rapper.
Yeah,
song.
he's
with
nice,
him and
man.
Snoop.
Yeah, I was
Where
Snoop.
he's
Yeah.
like interviewing to be a rapper. Like, I love that shit.
Yo, so Street Preachers podcast, the collab. Should have swiped left,
Yeah,
and man, we had a good time, man.
Very good.
Yeah, we I'm sure we'll have part 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up.
I'm down.
We're gonna call it a wrap, man.
Yeah,
It was
you
a
need to
good
come.
show.
You need to come to our side.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
I mean, our setup isn't as podcasty as this. But
That's fine, bro. I'm down though.
We love it, but like Big L says, and I'm out, and I'm out.
I appreciate y'all having me. Always.
Yes, sir.
no doubt, man.
Always.
all right,
cut.
Cut.